Your Honor, this is case number 38 on the calendar in the matter of Nickerson versus Robertson Hall. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Nickerson, you are suing the defendants for assault.
Yes.
For injury to your arm, to your finger.
And my foot. I have a comminuted fracture on my foot.
All right. Well, why don't you tell me first, before we get to your injuries, I gather that the defendant's son was playing at your house with some of your children.
Yeah. Well,
is that right?
Yeah.
And there was a toy that was broken by her son.
A little toy.
What kind of toy was it?
It's a little Nintendo cartridge. I went to the defendants to ask them, did they have a screw that I can put into my... Actually, it wasn't my son's game, it was my nephew's game. To put could they help me put it back together?
Let me stop. After the toy was broken, according to your complaint, you went to the defendant's house.
I went there.
And you said, do you have a screw that you can fix the game with because your son broke the game?
Before I went there, I sent the boys,
your hand down, please.
My nephew and my son over there. And they called me and asked me, why did I send the kids over there? They didn't understand what they were talking about. You know, they didn't understand. Tell me what you're talking about. I said, I'll be over there in a minute. But I didn't know that, well, by the time I got there, I didn't know I was going to have to fight for my life to get out.
Well, what happened when you got there?
Well, when I got there, I was trying to explain to Renee.
Who's Renee? That's you?
Rena.
Rena.
She's Renee.
Well, they told me her name was Renee. And anyway, I was trying to explain to her about this screw. And she kept yelling, and I told her, I said, okay, forget about it. You obviously want to fight. So I was trying to get out. And before I knew it, they had jumped on me.
Who's they?
She, her mom, and her brother.
You're the mother?
Yes, I am.
I didn't find it funny. I've been in a cast for about 2 months, and I'm still being treated.
And you don't know why this happened?
Well, I have a pretty good idea.
Well, let me hear your idea, because right now I really don't understand why you have injuries.
We have yeah, I don't either. I mean, I
don't understand it either. So tell me why you think this happened.
We had a mutual friend, and he was pretty nice to me. He did a lot of things for me. I think Val may have been in love with him. I don't know. He claimed he was in love with me, but I didn't share those same feelings.
So you think that this was all over a man?
That's what I think. Well, the man had died. And the man died. I didn't go to his funeral. And a couple of days after that is when this setup, I believe it was a setup. This is what happened, because I can't understand why they would get that mad over a little Nintendo game, a screw. I have a lot of kids over at my house all the time. Val and I have had problems with the kids before, but we've always been able to talk about it.
That's you?
We've always been able to talk about whatever problems we ever had. We've always been able to talk about it. But this particular time, there was no talking.
Okay. Rena?
Yes.
Let's hear your version of this, please.
Okay. Sunday is when I heard that, well, my son, he was at our house playing Sunday for a couple of hours just before we was going to start our day. And I had told her, you know, she was fixing the kids' lunch and stuff. I told her, don't worry about mine, because I would be picking him up about 3, because we had movie engagements and planned for that day. But after I dropped him off back after Sunday and everything like that, never mentioned about the screw. Even after I picked him up, because I still don't know when the screw got lost and everything. So when I dropped him off at his father's, I went off with a friend, and we were gone for like 2 days out of town. And when I came back that Tuesday, which was the 22nd, is when I heard about the screw. She called the house saying that I said, why did you send the children? She said, because I figured you could help them. And I'm like, help them with what? A screw. What kind of screw? A screw to a game. I'm asking, is this game still broken, or is it broken? Does it work? I haven't checked that. She's assuming that she's talking to my mother. I'm letting her know you are talking to me while she's being loud and ruly. I will be there. When she got there, she banged on the door like she was a detective, and I asked her why. She said, because I wanted to make sure you heard me. Come on in. She's still going on about the screw. She never said anything about the game. She always focused on a screw. I got out a screw bucket where I keep little tools and stuff. Let's get us one. I offered her to sit down. She sat down for a half a second and jumped back up, and when she did that, not knowing her, because I can prove that I've only been here, just got in town. I don't know her. She's my mother's company. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, and so when she jumped up in my face, not knowing what she had done or what she'd been doing over her house before or why she was calling, and because she still had hostility and rage in her voice, in her and everything, and all I did was defend myself when she jumped in my face.
Just a second. All right, let's take this slowly, Rena.
Yes.
She's sitting on the couch. And where are you? Sitting or standing?
No, it's a little love seat. And before she could sit down, when she sat down before I could sit down, she was back up and I rose up.
I have to get this as a mental picture.
Okay.
You are standing.
Yeah. Talking to her like this, like we're side by side.
Right.
And I said, sit down, let's talk.
You said sit down.
Uh-huh.
She starts to sit down, and you're still standing.
Uh-huh, before I could even get there.
No, not before. You're still standing.
Yes, I am.
So she sits, and you're standing, and then she just jumps up.
Just like that.
And then you, Rena, look at
Yes.
me. Then you did what?
Then when she did that, because
she did that. She jumped up. Just tell me what you did.
When I jumped up, I lunged back, and she did like this, and then that's when
You what?
I defended myself. When she
no,
put her...
you didn't say... I don't want you to tell me defend myself.
Anyway,
I want you
when
to tell
she
me...
put her hands in my face, I put my hands in hers.
No, Rena.
I did.
Rena, listen to me. Listen to me, Rena.
I did.
Listen to me,
did. When she
Rena.
Okay.
Pay attention to me,
Yes.
madam. She jumped up
Yes.
because I read your answer.
Yes.
She didn't put her hands on you, but you put your hands on her, and I want you to tell me exactly what you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I mean, it really isn't funny for two adult women who have children to indulge themselves in this kind of behavior. So believe me, it's not funny.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Nickerson says she was attacked by Rena Robinson after she tried to talk to her about a screw that came loose from a video game.
I want you to tell me exactly what you did.
That's what I did. When she jumped up...
No, you didn't. You didn't tell me what you did.
When she jumped up, I put my hands in her face to strike her or whatever.
In her face is not telling you, but she didn't get these injuries from putting your hands in her face.
Okay, in her face, on her, or whatever.
No, not whatever. Let's get back. Rena, let's get back to it, Rena.
Get back to it. This is how it went. When she jumped up...
Show me on your mother.
Okay, when she jumped, seriously. When she went to go sit down and she jumped up in my face like this, and I went back, and when she brought her hands to me, I didn't know what she was going to do, and I pushed them back, and then she launched back, and that's when we had the conflict back and forth.
So you put your hands on her first.
First, because I didn't know what she was going to bring to me.
I was trying to leave.
Just a second. You put your hands on her first.
Okay, well, then I accept that.
Well, that's what happened.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you just put your hands on her, and you were showing me with your mother that you just held both hands.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
This, I don't know, because
we don't know.
the ambulance did not come, no rescue squad or anything like that. So
Yes, they did. I called the ambulance and I called the police.
Okay.
Now,
how did you get involved in this?
Okay. Renee and I had discussed this Sunday. We talked about the losing of the screw and the Nintendo game. So
You talked about it with the plaintiff.
That's right. Okay. And I told her, I said, well, what do you want Renee to do? Pay for the game or what? She said, no, all I need is a screw. See, can you find a screw? And I said, okay. Hung up the phone, and that was that. We never discussed it anymore. Well, I thought it was settled as she had discussed it with me. So Rena came in that Tuesday, and I was getting ready because I was going in the hospital the next day. And I was laying down in the bed relaxing. That's when I heard them talking on the phone. Rena said, Mama, she assumed that she was talking to you. All the time she was talking to me. So when I heard she said she was coming over, well, at that time, Rena had walked out of my room and was halfway in the living room, laughing about it. So Renee walked to the door, and she, bam, 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 bam. I jumped up because I didn't know what was going on. So I wanted to know who was knocking on my door.